we're live.
Hey, Annalise, where do you go? There you go. Hey.
Here I am. Hi.
Oh. All right. So, Jeff, there you go. You're right in the middle of the camera.
Oh.
See, it's behind you. There you go.
All okay, right. It's over. There it is.
So, anybody's watching this on streaming? Yeah. Welcome to Crypto Mondays in VR. You can see, I don't know if you can see the nice logo up there, but I guess the camera's not pointing that direction. So, it is a nice logo, but you can't see it. And we're going to yap a little bit about the happening. Annalise?
Well, it's okay. They have I decorated the stream to have all the Crypto Monday signage on it. So it'll be there. You. All right. So today, guys, we figured that we'd have a small little fireside chat with you guys. A lot of you guys are crypto people. Some people are new to this space, but the most important event that we see coming up, even though we're stuck inside, is going to be the Halving, or the halving, whatever, however you pronounce it. Now, there's a few things that I kind of just wanted to go over. First of all, does everybody know the importance of this event? Do you guys know what the halving is? Feel free to answer. Go for it.
I know.
I see you back there. Anyone?
Mike?
Anyone want to answer?
The halving? That's when
I think everybody
mining reward.
Well, the mining reward halves, hence the halving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So the mining reward halves, as we know, and I think right now it's 6.25 BTC, and it's cutting in half to
3.125. Yeah.
3.125.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's like every 10 minutes.
Every 10 minutes.
Roughly every 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the importance of this event. So it's going to be affecting miners the most, as we know it. The mining community, usually you'll hear not too great things about mining, only because people say it's expensive, or mining is not as lucrative as it used to be. But something that we notice is over time, Bitcoin's price naturally increases. So even though that block reward is cut up and it's divvied up amongst, a pool of miners, or a mining pool, however you have your mining set up, you will get a substantial amount over time. The question is that I've been seeing a lot that people have been asking on Twitter and other social platforms is the amount of volume that we need, the money we need circulating on the market in order to actually keep, having those targeted prices, as, analysts are saying, that will, I guess, make this industry and keep it lucrative. And I think someone was saying, and the target price, as I see, is usually about 200,000. People are saying, I don't think we're ever going to have a 2017 bull run again where we saw that, crazy jump. But will we see a jump? Yes. I think right now, it was $14 million or something I was seeing in circulation on average. And I think we need 1.4 billion in circulation to get to that $200,000 price that people are kind of pinpointing for 2021. So I just thought those were kind of interesting points that I see out there. But apart from that, the halving can be fun, and we are planning to have some VR parties. If you are familiar with VR, of course, because you guys are here. But we're going to have some VR parties, and I'm kind of just going to go over them. There's a few of them. The first one is going to actually start on the 10th. The 10th is kind of has been bouncing back and forth depending on how often the market people are buying in and selling and demand, because obviously the halving comes every 210,000 blocks. It's not necessarily a specific time or a date. It's whenever that 210,000 block is being mined. That's when the halving begins. So let me just pull up a list of some events here. Does anybody want to jump in or add anything so far? I know I'm kind of just rambling on over here.
Very exciting. No.
All right. So just a few key points here. We're going to be calling this event the BTC, or Bitcoin Halving Block Week, Blockchain Party Week. The first event is going to be hosted by Udi. He is a developer based out of Israel. Super interesting guy. He has events here in Altspace all the time. But his event will be 4 hours, and it's called Block Drop. It'll be taking place here in Altspace, like I mentioned, and essentially it's going to be sponsored by Kraken. the exchange, and they're going to have a few speakers. There's going to be some prizes, some giveaways, etc. If you guys need any more information, I'll be sending out individual links, or feel free to message me for the links. The next one is going to be Stonecrypt BTC World. Now, this one's in VR chat. Unfortunately, VR chat doesn't work on the Oculus Go. If you guys have a Go, it is a really heavy set space, but it's really cool. The Stonecrypt World, I've been to it a couple times. It's BTC themed, and essentially it has like Bitcoins, and it's kind of like do you guys see how this world's set up, where it has like all the lines? It's kind of like Tron themed for the most part. So like imagine a pink version of that with palm trees and the Elon Musk Cybertruck and Bitcoins everywhere. It's really cool. And you can take pens and you can write on the world. And they're also going to be doing some giveaways for that party as well. I believe that one's going to start on the 11th. And he's going to be giving away 2 of his books. I think they're called Shield Guides. Let me just double check. But essentially what those books do is that it writes in invisible ink. So if by any chance you need to write down your private keys, because a lot of people, you're not supposed to necessarily print your private keys, you're not supposed to have them visible, but you're not going to remember your seed phrases and all that by not having it copied somewhere. So the purpose of this book is that it's in invisible ink, and can only see it with the flashlight that is attached to the pen. So if someone doesn't have that pen, they can't see it. It doesn't work with any other light. So I think that's pretty neat. And he's going to be giving away some of those. And then we're also going to have avatar contests, because the cool thing about VR chat is that you can have your own avatar. I've seen people make avatars out of Elon Musk. I've seen people make avatars out of mini Bitcoins. I've seen people make avatars out of cars and Transformers, and they're huge, and it's really cool. It's something that I guess Altspace lacks, but that's going to be another event that we're going to be having. I'll come up with some more information on that, because the guys are still planning that one out, but the world is ready and it's set to go. There's going to be another one that same day, and that one will be in an alien treehouse, I think. Or is that the last day? I think the last day is going to be in an alien treehouse on the moon. So basically, that one's also going to be in VR chat. And what the guys did is that they made a layout of the world, and you are basically landing on the moon, and you can see the world from the moon. And on the moon, you can walk around, and there's going to be a giant treehouse, as if aliens came and colonized. And in the tree, there's going to be a treehouse. And it's going to be, Bitcoin themed, and it's going to have a bunch of happening stuff. It hasn't been completely finished yet. I've been to it on its early stages. It's really cool. Excited to see that one get done. But there's also going to be some giveaways and some other stuff that we're going to be doing. So make sure to come for that one as well. It's going to be super fun. Again, I'll be posting details. And if you guys are in the Telegram group, t.me/crypto Mondays VR, I'll be dropping stuff in there. So make sure you guys are in our Telegram group. And I think there's one more party that I'll mention, and that one is a BTC spaceship. So this one, I've been to this one in the sky too. It actually has a picture of Peter, which we all know lost his keys. But it has him in the moon saying that he doesn't have his keys. It's really cute. And it's basically a Bitcoin themed spaceship. In the spaceship, there's going to be a couple parties. I think they're going to have a DJ. As well as we're going to be doing some giveaways. So more chances to earn some giveaways if you guys do end up coming up to the BTC spaceship party as well. Now it's going to be kind of, there's going to be some talks. Again, some of these events are sponsored. So it's going to be kind of half and half mingling, half talking. And then in between, there's going to be giveaways. And then I think there's going to be some, miners there that are going to be speaking on, the importance of mining and things that I mentioned, kind of like where the future of mining lies, because we all know without mining, there is no Bitcoin. So it's a really important topic to understand and make sure that we keep that part of cryptocurrency sustainable. So those are all the parties that are going to be coming up. Again, I'll be sending out links to you guys individually. I'll be messaging you for kind of just a general place to go to find all this information. And I'll be giving some information out also in the link on the YouTube page for the live stream if you guys are watching live. Any questions?
Going once, going twice.
All right. Now, if you guys have just, yeah. Oh, no problem. All right, Lou. So, I guess. Oh, let me come back. Sorry. Okay. So, I guess I kind of have some questions for you, Lou. Now, and it's regarding the halvening and mining and where you see the future of this going. My question exactly is, where do you see the future of Bitcoin going with mining becoming, I guess, more expensive?
Yeah, well, the amazing thing about the Bitcoin ecosystem is it's found a way to rebalance, and move forward, and reward the different players in the ecosystem for the roles they're playing. And I think they do that. Nothing's perfect, but I think they do that better than any other ecosystem I've seen. So, I think really the biggest issue we have is just helping people understand the problems it solves for them, making it easier for people to onboard. And I think when we solve for those things, and lots of people are working on it, there could be lots of layer 2 things that make it better. But I think even what Bitcoin is today, I think is enough to have it be significantly more valuable than it is today, as more people appreciate it for what it is. What do you think?
I mean, so like I was mentioning earlier with the whole, I guess, price targets of, people are saying, hey, by 2021, we're going to hit 2,200, whatever. I feel like people are still value Bitcoin, and we're starting to have people come back into our community. And I think that's really important. I just feel for the smaller guys, because you always have your big company like Bitminer and Antpool and all these other like larger like mining companies, but then you also have your small guys who are just trying to like make it through. I feel like this may not, as we progress, as we progress having every 4 or 200,010 blocks, I feel like that's going to start draining those guys out of the swamp, and it's going to be something that's going to be solely based on the bigger guys, and I feel like that's kind of going to monopolize that sense of the ecosystem. But as people continue to into the concept of Bitcoin, I feel like that will then kind of sustain itself. I don't know. I just like to see what's going to happen, because we're in a stage where we've never gone through. The coronavirus, as we know, it's changed the market as a whole. So old predictions, I don't feel are valid anymore. And there's just like a lot of questions that I see arising and that I feel are kind of like left unanswered until I see the market look like it used to. Like we see little increases, but I feel like we're not steady yet. I feel like until we stabilize fully, which this is a very volatile market in general, I feel like I really won't see an answer to what I really am looking for.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I may be a little more sanguine. Yes. It kind of happens when it happens. There are so many different forces at work in the short run. Warren Buffett has a great saying about stocks, and that's, in the short run, there were popularity contests. In the long run, there were a weighing machine.
Right.
So, the question is, are people going to appreciate the value of Bitcoin? And I think that's, and part of it, can we make it easier? Are people going to appreciate the value of Bitcoin? More beneficial? I think that's, so many smart people are working on I've got confidence more beneficial. And even what it is today, I think is quite, I think that's, so many smart people are working on.
I can agree with that. Does anybody have any input, anything you guys want to add?
Even what it is today, I think is quite, I think that's, so many smart people are working on.
I can agree with that. Does anybody have any input, anything you guys want to add?
I'm surprised nobody's mentioned Dr. Poleo model.
I can agree with that.
The most accurate model. I'm surprised nobody's mentioned Dr. Poleo model, and it has some great stuff to say about that. It's actually the halving model. It's a model, of course. I don't say it's a question, but it's first of all, it has been very impressive to date. Second, I'm surprised nobody's mentioned it.
So the basic idea is to value an asset based on how long at current mining levels, if you will, or current production levels, it would take to match our current supply. Right. So for gold, for example, I think it's something like 67 years. Right. So 67 years mining gold at this rate would essentially double our current supply of gold. Now, what the halvening does really is it doubles that number for Bitcoin. Right. Whatever the number was, I think it was something like 35 or something like that, which is much lower than gold. A week from now, just like that, it's going to double, and it's going to be significantly higher than gold. Now, that number by itself isn't enough. Otherwise, we would see. Obviously, we'd see a doubling of the price in a day. There's two other factors. One of which I think is an exponent, and the other is a multiplicand. And apparently, if you choose the right values for these things, you get a curve that strongly matches the price of Bitcoin to date. Now, what it says about future prices, I believe, is that it's going to 93,000 at the end of 21, and then 100,000 at the end of 22, and then by 30 you have like yet another halving, and it goes to 1 million by the present model. But I really think this whole coronavirus thing is going to throw that model into disarray, because it's really going to mess with the supply of dollars, right? And we're really talking about the price of Bitcoin in dollars. So if the Fed starts, printing out money like the Weimar Republic or like the Zimbabwean government, then this model is completely out the window. Likewise, if they don't and the economy tanks, God knows what happens. So this has really thrown a monkey wrench into the works. Though I gotta say, if you look at the price today, it's really not far from what Dr. Flo says it should be, despite all that. So it's kind of weird. If you look at the price today, so yeah, that's my two Satoshis.
Yeah, that's just your 2 cents.
Two Satoshis. I don't believe in cents. But
you get some hearts for that one.
Oh, cool.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything they want to add real quick before we go back to just chatting amongst ourselves?
So one more interesting thing, there's been discussion about the halving as kind of a public relations event, and people talk about how Satoshi is such a genius for like basically planning all these events that we've had just in advance. So there's some reason for people to talk about Bitcoin scarce supply, etc. And I was wondering what people think about that. Like, do people think of the halving as something that was kind of planned for there to be some sort of event? Or do people think of it as just a convenient technical engineering decision to just code it that way?
I think people turned it into events. I think it was technical. It is technical, but I think they made it a reason to celebrate, I think it was.
It is in and of itself a really good reason to celebrate, but from what I've read of Nakamoto's of the paper, of his posts, etc., he had no idea that this particular blockchain that he created was going to turn into this, right? There's no way he was planning this kind of thing, right? He realized that he created something radical and different, but none of us at the time, none of us believed that this would go, that this particular little blockchain that we were mining on our laptops would 10 years hence be worth billions of dollars. Nah. So there's no way he planned that in advance. 10 years hence.
No, blockchain wasn't originally sought out to be as big as it is now. I feel like it was just a test, and then it was a test that just went viral. That's really all. From what if you read the white paper just over and over again, because you always see something that you didn't see before. It was supposed to kind of replace the purpose of banks and Swift and the trust system and, you know, all that, but like to the scale that it would need to actually work and execute at 100%, there was no anticipation for this at all.
Well, cool. Well, thanks again, Annalise. It's been a fun hangout. Good conversation. A lot going on for the Happening. It's going to be an exciting week. Well, cool.
It has. I sent you guys all the information for the Telegram group. The Telegram group is t.me/VRBitcoin. If anyone who is watching is interested in joining, t.me/VRBitcoin. That is the biggest VR Telegram group that we have. And then from there, we'll be executing information for the dates. Again, the first one that's coming up will be on the 10th here in Altspace, and it will be sponsored by Kraken. So it's going to be fun. Come out. You guys have fun. And yeah, just come back next week and make sure you stay tuned for VR Crypto Mondays. So it's going to be fun.
Awesome.